So I'll have to put my specs because I have got some material to read out from. I stopped. Let me remove this. I think this will be better, right?
That's
You
right.
can hear me better. First of all, I am delighted to be here. I have no words, really no words to express. When I entered and I saw the energy levels and I felt it, believe me, it was overwhelming for me. I was almost in tears. Okay, it was so good to be amongst all of you here. So thank you so much for inviting me here and introducing me to this wonderful community. So, and of course, thank you. It was very nice listening to you, Dr. Verma. I think you really brought out something very important, which is the connection for the NGOs and corporate affairs and the sustainability. I do have some insights into it also. I'm going to probably extend some of what you said at a later stage. I am truly de-energized today. So let me accept it. Only one Earth is the campaign slogan, as Dr. Mukhopadhyay said in the morning before me, for the World Environment Day led by UNDP. And the focus is on living sustainably in harmony with nature. I think that's very important. And we call it one family, right? So Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, world, the one family, and the one Mother Earth, Vasundhara. And this mother is an embodiment of, like any other mother, is an embodiment of love and affection, epitome of sacrifice, tolerance, and patience. Unfortunately, today, this wonderful quality has turned into a curse. This has been exploited by the one family. Okay, we went on abusing her, burdened her, shook her, messed up, and today she's crying out in retaliation. And she's on the verge of collapse. And that's where I agree with what my earlier speaker said, that the entropy is increasing, the disorder is increasing. Unless we do not take action now, unless we do not re-energize her, balance the energy, she's going to collapse. So it's something which we have to learn and something which we have to realize immediately and take some action. Having said that, actually, when it was told first, when I was asked by Dr. Shamla that you should come and speak here, I was also attending a class, weekend classes on understanding our scriptures. Very brilliant class. That's when I thought, I said, okay, let me see. And, our Indian scriptures always have an answer for everything. They are connected. They are written, mentioned about any issue of people. So I thought this must also be it. And of course it was there. It was my ignorance that I didn't know about it. And when I look at it, the concept of earth is the supporter of life, and human action should be carefully not to destroy the balance, is a strong theme running across the Vedas. The Atharva Veda, for instance, the hymn goes, the translation goes like this: May the Mother Earth, like a cosmic cow, give us the thousandfold prosperity without any hesitation, without being outraged by our destructive actions. So they knew in the beginning that we need to take care of it. In fact, our ancient scriptures reveal a full cognizance of the undesirable effects of the environmental degradation, whether caused by natural factors or human activities. The Rig Veda regards the deities like the Mitra, Varuna, Indra, Maruts, and Aditya that are responsible for maintaining the requisite balance in the functioning of all the entities of nature, be it mountains, rivers. It is well recognized that the changes caused by indiscrete human activities could result in imbalances in seasons, rainfall patterns, crops, etc. The Rig Veda also, I understand, this was some of my research that I did in understanding. The Rig Veda, I understand, has a clear reference to a protective layer, the ozone layer that we call today. Okay, and that filters the harmful rays and protects the earth. Also, in our scriptures, it says that the Pancha Mahayajnas are the 5 sacred duties to be performed as a way of life for living in harmony. And to live in harmony with the world, we need to recognize our place within the larger scheme of things. The 5 sacred duties within this are the Deva Yajna, Pitra Yajna, Brahma Yajna, Manusha Yajna, and Bhuta Yajna. And in this Bhuta Yajna is exclusively to be talking about the ecosystem. It talks about the ecosystem. All the 5 duties are equally important, and performing more of one yajna cannot compensate for the non-performance of the others. This is what the scriptures say. The Bhuta Yajna is appreciating all creations as Ishvara, preserving and living in conformity with the laws of nature, worshipping animals, plants, trees, forests, and all other forms of life. And it says worship is considering nature in all forms of life sacred and showing kindness, compassion to them. Both the recognition and sensitivity are involved. By recognizing the cosmic forces, we do not take anything for granted. This is what I read, and I was really amazed that talking about ecosystem is something which is ingrained within us. Okay, it's so much ingrained, it's just that we let it go for our convenience, and instead, while things are positive, we are seeing the negative effects of them. In fact, in the Vedic culture, nature is never looked at commodity. You must be wondering why I'm talking so much about it, because I myself was surprised. My ignorance, please, I'm sure most of you must be knowing it, but I still wanted to say what I learned, and that is nature is never looked at as a commodity. All natural resources are there for using all living beings, for the use of all living beings. We have to use them with care and caution and not abuse or plunder them. This is what it is said. When the ecology is disturbed, then the all economic and activity and prosperity is affected, is what is written in our scriptures. Amazing. In fact, I got a reference of a very good book, Emerging Trends to Approaching Zero Waste. It's a book which has been published recently, and a chapter which is written by 3 lady professors from Delhi University and I think it is one more university in Jaipur, Rajasthan, which talks about Indian indigenous knowledge system, sustainable approach toward waste management. And there is a mention that historically find their roots in ancient Vedic scriptures like circular economy. That something is a buzzword today. Understanding the ecosystems, forest, wildlife protection, rainwater harvesting, composting, organic farming, and all of it. Okay, having said that, after looking at my roots, then I looked at a young girl, Vinisha Shankar, 16-year-old, who spoke at the World Leaders Summit in COP26 last year. She says she is the future. Yes, she's 16 years, so she's our future. She says, and you people say, 2030, we will halve our carbon emissions. Right? That time she will be 24. At 2050, we say we will assess whether we have reached the net zero or not. She says she will be 40 years at that time. All right? And we are here still thinking first we will do something and then we will assess whether we were right or wrong. Is that right? Is it accepted? She's saying she and her generation will live to see the consequences of our actions today. And this is the right forum to think about it, right? This is the right forum to think about it, and that's why we are here, I suppose. So yes, we cannot wait to 2050 to assess the results of our efforts, only to find that our efforts were not quite enough, right? I think we must all take the responsibility and make sincere efforts to have it right first time. We cannot assess. We don't have time to assess. We have to have it right first time. This is a term which the corporates use. I think all of the IIT Bombay, the energy science, that was the time when we were talking about energy management, energy efficiency. Slowly we went on to waste management. Then we said, let's go on to energy and waste management. Then it became sustainability. Today it has become circular economy. We are addressing the same things, maybe adding on some more. But the fact is, we are still talking about energy efficiency. We talk about circular economy, but we're still talking about energy efficiency. We still talk about waste management. We still talk about sustainability. We are really, I don't see the progress. All right. We are only giving it newer and newer terms because our problems are increasing. We are integrating the problems and giving it a new name. Right. So we need to be very well aware of that. So the focus on the environment protection, mitigation of climate change has extended now to broader issues of sustainability and resource usage. We can't now only concentrate on restricting tree cuttings, waste management, energy efficiency, but we now have to move forward. We have to be concerned about the volumes and the rate of extraction of natural resources. So the rate of extraction is also very important. The irresponsible usage, we must do that. I am so happy that we don't have AC here. Believe me, I was very happy. Okay, we don't need AC at this point of time. I see people keeping the AC at 18 degrees, and then they will wear a suit boot and they'll wear a shawl and come. Why? You don't need it. No offense taken, sir. Please, I know you can't say. But I'm just saying, it is true. And on the other hand, you will see the men coming in suits and the women wanting to wear saris and nice blouses, so she's shivering. Right? I have faced it. All right? I have faced it. So we need to be really, let's be responsible and leave the irresponsible usage, disposal of products and materials, abatement of criteria and the GHG pollutions, of course. Focusing on just production and consumption of energy by reducing the carbon emissions through the energy efficiency, renewable energy and fuels and decarbonization, all that we're talking about today, will solve only about half the GHG emission problems. For the rest, we need to look at how we manufacture and use products. We will need to be concerned about the volume and rate of extraction of natural resources. I say this again and again because look at the way we are going the EV way. Wonderful. We will reduce the local pollution. We will reduce the criteria pollutants. All right. But we also need to ensure that we are not using coal. We are using renewable for that energy. But then we have to look at energy security in our country. We can't just say, no, I will use all renewable. Forget the money, even if the money comes. Right? But we have to look at the energy security. Tomorrow, if we are not able to import, what do we do? Right? And therefore, we need to ensure that we have energy security. We even need to use our coal. So let us see if we can do CO2 sequestration. Let us try that. So we need to keep a very holistic view, and we need overall, of course, we will need to look at the health and well-being of the inhabitants of the place. Circular economy is something which I will talk about today. It's going to play a very important role in providing the sustainable solutions, and each element of the circular economy will require science, technology, and innovation, for which we will need diverse and innovative perspectives. Be it reduce, repair, reuse, or recycle. All of them are important. Each of these will require innovations. When I say reduce, we need to talk about it in the design stage itself. You can't say let's reduce the amount of metal which is going into any product if you do not look at it at the design stage. We need to do it so that while manufacturing itself, we use less material. We have to use simulation-based product design. Therefore, we have to improve on the simulations, on the softwares that we develop, on the analysis-led design that we do. So we have a lot of science and technology coming, right? All right. Then we talk about repair. Repair is something which we always believed in. Today it's not there. Do you see any repair shops outside today? Even if I want to repair, I don't find a shop. All right. What happened to them? Because we started going into the use and throw mode. But repair is really going to help us save some of the natural resources. If I can repair my mobile, I need to ensure that I can open the mobile. In fact, your laptops, can you change the batteries these days? No, you can't, because it's not designed that way. So even if you want to repair, you need to take it into consideration during the designs, right in the beginning. So the end of the product will need to be thought about in the design of the product. That's something very, very important. Then comes, so essentially, disassembling and assembling is to be made possible. Remember, skill development is always a part of it. Who's going to repair is very important. That person must know about it, right? Reuse, very important. Reuse is another very important thing that we need to talk about. For example, batteries, something which is used in the EVs for mobile applications. Once it's not serving the purpose of the number of duty cycles that we need there, can be used for stationary applications before we discard the batteries, right? It's very important. Apparels. I found one very good NGO now, which is like they ask for used apparels and not for police slums or no, but actually other users to use. So my daughter, I was initially I said, "And what are you doing?" She says, "No, her friend, if she doesn't want, she has used it twice or thrice, and she wants to give it. My daughter is ready to take it, and my daughter does the same thing. And that's something which I learned from my daughter. Believe me." So what we have done now is we have a small group at IIT. I love saris. I love buying them, but you know how many times did you wear them? So I have my friends who say, "Okay, give it to me. I work at home," and she uses it because cotton saris are very good to use again, and there's no harm. All right, but all I'm saying is that's one way where we can contribute. These are small things, but we can contribute. Recycle. How can you recycle if you can't open and if you don't have technology to extract lithium? Okay, scientists are required to find materials which can be used, materials which are abundant, but they also need to find science and technologies which can help us in extracting. We need scientists to develop technologies where we can ensure that I can capture these CO2. Where do I put it? Do I want to put it under the earth, where we are extracting oil? I need technology. Do I want to convert it into Cummins, into chemicals? I need technology. So scientists and technology innovators are required at every step of trying to reach a sustainable, trying to give a sustainable solution. So therefore, in fact, I'll tell you one very interesting thing. There is a biogas plant, there is a woman entrepreneur in Bangalore who set up a biogas plant. And she was looking for the municipal solid waste segregated one. You know what happens there? The households beautifully segregate. It is collected. But there is a weight bridge in which the person who takes the material, waste, gets money looking at the weight. So he first puts a sand layer, he sprays water to increase the weight, he mixes the whole thing so that he can get more money, and this is a mafia run. So you can recycle, we can reuse, but there has to be integrity. We really need to sort that out too. So both research and business today have to transition to sustainability-driven approaches than from the current sustainability-relevant ones. Earlier, we were sustainability informed. We all knew about sustainability. All businesses were running like that. We would be happy to say that we are doing this through CSR. Today, we are sustainability relevant because we start putting our ESG there, but we are still not, we are not taxed for it. So once we become sustainability driven, as Varmaji said, I think the prices will also go up. It's very important that we look into it. So each one of our businesses and research, I repeat, needs to be sustainability driven from the current sustainability relevant zones. I'm fortunate, I must say this, that I work for Cummins, a company whose vision and values I respect a lot, and that's why I'm still there. We have a strategic initiative called Planet 2050. I thought I must talk about it where the planet stands for prosperity, leadership, advocacy, nurture, environment together. The three focus areas are reducing GHG emissions, doing our part as natural resources in the most sustainable way, and our communities are better. And it's very important for the company like ours, who are initially known as diesel manufacturers, with Indian manufacturers, going towards sustainable solutions like EV and other hydrogen, etc. But this is what kept our values in place. Cummins believes that sustainability is an interconnected system concept. Our communities and business depend on collective response to improve the health of the planet. In fact, I'm just reminded of one example. Maybe I'll just come to it very soon. So we do have 4 goals. 4 of them are science-based. So anything we talk about reducing GHG emissions or reducing pollution are all science-based. And then we have circular economy-based, where we talk about our facilities by 2030 we will reduce 25% less waste. We'll become 100% recycle or reuse the packaging material. We'll reduce the water usage by 50%. This is all by 2030, which is our specific goal for the 2050. Cummins believes in diversity too. And in the technical organization that I work for in Cummins in India, in Pune, 37% is the diversity, which is a pretty good, diverse number. And we need more women engagement. I thought I must bring this point out. We definitely need more women engagement in both research and business to bring in diverse thoughts and perspectives to the table. My friend was talking about, she's also an entrepreneur. She was talking about how when she goes to select a site, she takes her husband along. Okay? And she says the reason is not that I need his help. The need, it's she who's talking about diverse. I would like to make this point. She says, I want a diverse opinion. I go there to select a site, and what I ensure there is no nala around, there are no Shanshan around. He looks at what is there overhead, wires are hanging, or what are other things. So it's both the perspectives which are very different, but both are required, and therefore diversity is so important. And in science, technology, innovation, without diverse perspective, you will definitely forget one part of the society. You will not be able to cater to all of them. Having said this, I think I'll conclude by saying that unless we realize, rectify, and take corrective actions today, okay, we need a new vision, we need innovation, we need to invest in innovation, we need diverse perspectives. Keep all that in mind, and then we can achieve our targets first time, right? We really have no time to lose, and we must take care of the only earth, at least for sake of ourselves. Thank you so much. And I'm again delighted to be here. Thank you.